Hey there, everybody. You might notice that I have my earbuds in, or rather, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. That's because a friend of mine is going through a rough time, and I'm making myself available for her whenever she wants to talk. So that's why I have them in, so I can hear the notifications when they come up. Anyway, let's get started on Proverbs. We are starting in chapter 17. It's better to have little and quiet than much with strife. Wise servants have a higher position and parts of inheritance among the children than do children that cause shame. The Lord tries and thus refines the hearts. Those who do wickedness listen to lies, and liars listen to wicked speech. When we mock the poor, we reproach our Maker, and those who are glad about someone's suffering will be punished. Grandchildren are a glory to the elderly, and the glory of children are their fathers. Excellent speech is not to be expected from a fool, much less so a lying prince. Gifts are precious to those who have them, and wherever they turn it, it brings prosperity. Those who cover transgressions seek love, but gossips separate close friends. Reproof affects a wise man more than any punishment affects a fool. Evil people seek only rebellion, so they will have cruel messengers come against them. Bears robbed of their young are less dangerous than fools in their folly. Those who reward evil for good will always have evil in their houses. The beginning of strife is a loss, so we should leave off contention before it is meddled with. Those who justify the wicked and condemn the just are both abominations to the Lord. Fools would not pay anything to get wisdom because they don't care for it. Friends always love and siblings minister in times of adversity. Those who have no understanding become surety for their friends. Those who love strife love transgression, and those who exalt their own homes seek destruction. Those who have froward hearts and perverse tongues find no good and fall into mischief. Foolish children bring sorrow and no joy to their parents. Happiness is healthy for us, but a broken spirit can make us sick. The wicked take gifts and pervert judgment. Wisdom is with those who have understanding, but fools will look anywhere but in the direction of wisdom. Foolish children grieve and make bitter their parents. It's not good to punish the just or to strike princes for equity. Those who know don't speak much, and those who understand are of excellent spirits. Even fools are counted wise when they don't speak, and those who don't speak are counted as people of understanding. Proverbs chapter 18. A man separates himself, and through desire he seeks and meddles with all wisdom. A fool doesn't care for understanding. All they care about is themselves. Wicked people bring contempt, ignominy, and reproach. When we speak from deep, what we speak comes from deep inside of us, and wisdom brings refreshment. It's not good to either show partiality to the wicked or to overthrow the righteous in judgment. Fools speak words that bring contention and punishment. They speak to their destruction and the snaring of their own souls. Gossips hurt people as deeply as possible with their words. The lazy are like those who waste. The righteous seek safety from the Lord's very name and find it. The rich think that their riches will keep them safe. Prideful people will come to destruction, but humble people will be honored. Those who speak before hearing the whole account engage in folly and are ashamed. When we're sick or wounded, our spirits keep us going, but who can bear a wounded spirit? The prudent and wise seek knowledge. Gifts can pretty much buy your way into an audience with great people. We all think we're just, but those who close to us can shed some light on whether we are or not. Casting lots puts an end to contention even between the mighty. When we offend those close to us, they're hard to win back. What we speak will satisfy us. The right words can kill or save lives, and those who love to talk will get what they give. Those who are lucky enough to get married have found something good that was given to them by the Lord. The poor try to persuade, while the rich speak roughly. Those with friends show that they are friendly, and there are even friends that stick closer than your own siblings. Proverbs chapter 19. The poor who walk in integrity are better than those who speak perversely and are fools. To be without knowledge is not good, and those who move hastily sin. The foolishness of us all perverts our ways, and our hearts struggle against the Lord. Wealth brings many friends, but the poor are separated from those close to them. False witnesses and liars will not escape punishment. Many people entreat the prince, and everyone is a friend to those who give gifts. Everyone close to the poor hate him, and though he tries to persuade them to stay by his side, they leave. Those who get wisdom and understanding both love themselves and will find good. False witnesses and liars will be punished and die. It's not fitting for a fool to have their delight, nor for a servant to rule over princes. Discretion leads us to defer our anger, and it is our glory to pass over transgressions. The king's anger is fierce, but his favor is gentle. The foolish are calamity to their parents, and the contentions of a wife are like continual droppings. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. The lazy will suffer lack. Those who keep God's commandments will keep themselves as well, while those who despise God's ways will die. Those who show pity to the poor lend to the Lord, and they will be repaid what they gave again. We're called to chastise our children while there is hope, and not spare for their crying. Those of great anger will suffer punishment. Those who deliver them must do so again as soon as they turn around. We should learn and be wise in the end. We all come up with many devices, but the counsel of the Lord will stand more than any other. It is kindness for a man to get what he desires, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life, and those who have it will abide satisfied, not visited with evil. The lazy refuse to even do what it takes to eat. Punishing scorners will cause the simple to be careful, and reproving those who have understanding will bring them more knowledge. Those who waste and chase away their parents cause shame and bring reproach. We should stop listening to instruction that causes to err from the words of judgment. Ungodly and wicked witnesses scorn judgment and take in iniquity. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and punishment for fools. Proverbs chapter 20. Wine and strong drink mock and cause rage, and those who are deceived by alcohol are not wise. The fear of a king is a frightening thing, and those who provoke them to anger sin against themselves. It is honorable for us to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. The lazy find any excuse to not work, so they resort to begging and have nothing. Counsel is in our hearts, something that goes down deep into us, but those of understanding can draw it out. Most of us will talk about our own goodness, but who can find a faithful person? The just walk in integrity, and their children are blessed after them. Kings that judge cause evil to scatter with a look. None of us can say that we have cleaned ourselves and that we are pure from sin. Deceptive business practices are an abomination to the Lord. Even children are known by their works, including purity and righteousness. The Lord has made all that see and hear. We should not fall in love with sleep, or we will become poor. If we work while we are awake, we will have what we need. Buyers will make nothing of what they buy in front of the seller, but when they are gone away, then they boast. Knowledge is more valuable than anything. Those who are surety and pledge for a strange woman will lose their clothing. What we gain by deceit seems sweet to us, but it then discomforts us with guilt and shame. Every purpose is established by counsel, and war should only be waged with good advice. Gossips reveal secrets, so we should not meddle with flatterers. Those who curse their parents will lose sight of their ways and be obscure and in darkness. When we get an inheritance hastily in the beginning, the end will not be blessing. We should not seek revenge, but wait on the Lord, and He will save us. Deceptive business practices are not good because they are an abomination to the Lord. Our ways are of the Lord. How can we see what the future holds? Those who take that which is holy and afterward vow to inquire of it trap themselves. Wise kings scatter the wicked and will punish them. Our spirit is what the Lord searches us with, deep down inside. Mercy and truth uphold the king, and their authority is upheld by mercy. The glory of the young is strength, and the beauty of the old is their signs of aging. When a wound bruises, it cleanses it eventually. So does punishment cleanse us on the inside. Proverbs chapter 21. The hearts of our rulers are in the power of the Lord. He changes them as He will. All of our ways are right in our eyes, but the Lord looks at our hearts. The Lord loves justice more than sacrifice. Pridefulness and the work of the wicked are sin. The diligent think always of having plenty. The hasty only think of what they lack. Using lies to get wealth is a vanity tossed around by those who seek death. The robbery of the wicked will destroy them because they refuse to do what's right. Our ways are froward and strange, but the works of the pure are right. It's better to live in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. The wicked want what's evil. Those closest to them find no favor with them. When the scorner is punished, the simple are made wise, and the wise instructed learn even more. The righteous are wise to consider their lives and people of the wicked, but God overthrows the wicked for their wickedness. Those who stop listening to the cry of the poor will also cry, but they will also not be heard. Secretly given gifts pacify anger. Doing what's right is a joy, but doing what's wrong will lead to destruction. Those who leave the ways of understanding will be with the dead. Those who love pleasure and luxurious things will be poor. The wicked transgressor will be given as a ransom for the righteous and upright. It's better to live in the wild than with a contentious and angry woman. The wise store up wealth, but fools spend theirs all up. Those who follow righteousness and mercy find life, righteousness, and honor. The wise can overcome the mighty and undo the strength of their confidence thereof. Those who watch what they say will keep away from troubles. The prideful scorner deals in proud wrath. The desire of the lazy kills them. They covet for everything. In contrast, the righteous give without sparing. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination, all the more when it's brought with a wicked mind. Liars will die, but the man who hears speaks with consistency. The wicked screw up their faces against the right, but the upright consider and direct their ways. There is no wisdom, understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. No matter what preparations and trust we may have in other things, in the day of adversity, true safety and victory are of the Lord. Proverbs chapter 22. A good name and loving favor are more valuable than anything. The rich and poor are taken together, and the Lord makes them all. Prudent people can see evil coming and hide from it, but the simple walk headlong into it and are punished. Humility and fearing the Lord bring riches, honor, and life. The froward are caught in traps, and those who keep themselves will be far from them. Train up children in the way in which they should go, and when they are old they will stick to them. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower serves the lender. Those who do sinfully will get vanity for it. The strength of their anger will fail. Those who give to the poor out of charity will be blessed. If you cast out the scorner, contention, strife, and reproach will all be gone. Those who love pureness of heart will be friends to kings because they speak graciously. The Lord watches over and preserves knowledge and overthrows the words of the transgressor. The lazy will make excuses to not go out and work. Those who are abhorred of the Lord fall prey to the talk of a strange woman. Foolishness is in the heart of a child, but correction drives it away from them. Those who oppress the poor become rich, and those who give to the rich will become poor themselves. Listen to the words of the wise and knowledgeable. It is pleasant to keep wisdom with you. They will be fitted in your speech. We have learned the wisdom of Solomon to trust in the Lord. Solomon wrote excellent things in counsels and knowledge to make us know the certainty of words of truth, to answer the words of truth to those who send us. We should not rob the poor or oppress the afflicted. They are poor and afflicted already. The Lord will plead their cause and spoil those who spoiled them. We should not be friends with angry people or go after the furious to learn their ways and be trapped in them. We should not be of those who are sureties for debts. If we have nothing to pay and we are surety for debts, they will take whatever we have to pay the debt. We should not steal land when our ancestors have already set the boundaries of our property. Those who are diligent will stand before kings and not mean people. Proverbs chapter 23. When we sit to eat with a ruler, we should consider what is before us diligently and not be given to appetite. We should not desire their fine food because it is deceitful. We should not work to be rich, nor should we continue in our own wisdom. Riches are fleeting, and we should not set our sights on them. We should not eat what is offered by those who look for evil, nor desire what they have. As their thoughts are, so do they make themselves. They call us to eat and drink with them, but they are against us. Eventually what we take in will come out of us, and we will lose those sweet words. We should not waste our efforts on the foolish who will despise our wisdom. We should not steal land from others, especially the fatherless. God is their Redeemer and is mighty and will plead their cause with us. We should seek to learn and know. We should not withhold correction from our children. If we correct them, they will not die. We will correct them and save them from hell. If we are wise, our parents will rejoice, especially if we speak what is right. We should not envy sinners, but fear the Lord always. There is an end, and our expectation should not be cut off. We should hear and be wise, and guard our hearts in the way. We should not be among gluttons of drink or food, because drunks and gluttons will become poor, and the lazy will join them. We should listen to our parents and not despise them. We should buy and keep the truth, wisdom, instruction, and understanding. The parents of the righteous and wise will rejoice and have great joy, especially with us if we are righteous and wise. We should learn from our parents, who will surely tell us that prostitutes and strange women are traps, waiting to catch their prey and increase transgressions among us. We should stay away from intoxication. Addicts have woe, sorrow, contention, babbling, words without cause, red eyes, and anything that intoxicates us will come back to bite us in the end. They look at strange women for lust and speak perverse things from their hearts. They're like those who lie in the midst of the sea on top of a mast, talking about how they didn't feel the abuse of others and saying that they will seek to get intoxicated when their buzz wears off. Proverbs chapter 24. We should not envy evil men, nor desire to join them, because they study destruction and talk of mischief. Wisdom and understanding build and make truly rich. The wise and knowledgeable are strong and get stronger, but by wise counsel they make their choices, and in a multitude of counselors is safety. Wisdom is too much for a fool who doesn't dare speak where the wise are. Those who devise evil will be called mischievous. The thoughts of the foolish are sin, and the scorner is an abomination to us all. If we faint in adversity, our strength is small. If we refuse to save those who are about to die and claim that we don't know it, God considers it, knows our hearts, and keeps our souls, and will make sure we get what we give. We should learn wisdom, which is sweet to us and brings a reward and keeps our expectation from being cut off. The wicked are advised to not lie in wait against the righteous, or spoil their resting places. A just man falls 7 times and rises again, but the wicked fall into mischief. We should not be happy when our enemies stumble or fall, because the Lord will see it and it will displease him, and he will turn away his wrath from them. We should not stress over the evil or envy the wicked, because they have no reward. Their knowledge of their own way leaves them, and they stumble around like the blind and foolish. We should fear the Lord and our authorities, and not have anything to do with those given to change, because their calamity comes suddenly and ruins them. These things are also of the wise. It is not good to be prejudiced in judgment. We should not say that the wicked are righteous, because the people and nations will curse and abhor us, but those who rebuke the wicked will have delight in good blessings. Those who give a right answer will be treated well by others. We should seek to work first and then take care of our personal issues. We should not be a witness against those close to us without cause, nor should we deceive with speech. We should not seek revenge. The lazy refuse to work even to take care of their own needs and property. A little laziness leads to poverty and want, coming like one who travels and an armed person. Proverbs chapter 25. The following are also Proverbs of Solomon, copied out by men serving Hezekiah, the king of Judah. God's glory is to conceal things, while the honor of kings searches out matters. The heart of the kings is unsearchable. When the wicked are taken away from the king, his authority is established in righteousness. We should not put ourselves above others in the presence of the king. It is better to be asked to go higher than to be made to go lower. We should not be hasty to strive, or we will not know what to do in the end when those close to us have put us to shame. We should debate our causes with those close to us themselves, and not reveal secrets, or those who hear them will put us to shame, and our infamy will not leave us. A word fitly spoken is beautiful. A wise reproof to an obedient ear is also beautiful, and stays with us. A faithful messenger refreshes his masters. Those who boast of a false gift have nothing to show. Long forbearing can persuade even princes, and a soft word can break through any hardness. We should only take in what is sufficient of good things, because too much of a good thing can make us vomit it out. We should not overstay our welcome with those close to us. Those who bear false witness against those close to them cause great injury. Confidence in the unfaithful in time of trouble is both painful and harmful. Those who sing songs to the heavy-hearted both make the suffering worse and take away the comfort that was there. If those who are our enemies are in need, we should provide for them. It will be like heaping coals of fire on their heads, and the Lord will reward us. An angry look can send away any backbiting speaking. It's better to live in small spaces with peace than to live in large spaces with brawling. Good news from a far country refreshes. When the righteous fall down before the wicked, it is surely because the wicked have caused it to happen. Those who seek out their own glory have no glory. Those who have no self-control have no boundaries and cannot defend themselves against temptation. Proverbs chapter 26. Honor is as unseemly for a fool as untimely weather. No causeless curse will come to its intended target. It will wander. Correction is needed for horses, asses, and fools. We should not answer a fool in the manner of folly, or we will be like them. Rather, we should answer against the folly of a fool, or they will think they're wise. Those who send messengers by fools cause injury and weakness to themselves. Parables in the mouths of fools don't work out like they think they will. Those who give honor to a fool have uselessly given it. A parable in a fool's mouth damages others before they're even aware of it. God formed all things and rewards the fool and transgressors according to their works. Fools always return to their folly. There is more hope for a fool than for a man who thinks himself to be wise in his own conceit. The lazy always make excuses, waste their days sleeping, get tired even trying to eat, and are wiser in their own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. Those who have no business meddling where they meddle will get hurt for it. Those who deceive those close to them and claim it was just a prank, joke, or sport are careless for how they hurt others. When there is no gossip, strife ends. Contentious people kindle strife with matters of no importance. Gossips hurt deeply with their words. Burning words from a wicked heart are pretty on the surface, but deep down they are ugly. Those who hate dissemble with their words and gather deceit with themselves. When they sweet talk, don't believe them, because they already have 7 abominations in their hearts. Those who cover their hatred with deceit will be exposed as wicked before the whole congregation. Those who set traps in wickedness will fall victim to their own misdeeds. Lies hate those afflicted by them, and flattery works ruin. Proverbs chapter 27. We should not talk about the next day, because we don't know what the future may bring. We should let others praise us and not ourselves. A fool's wrath is exceptionally heavy. Wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous, but none can stand before envy. It's better to be openly rebuked than to be loved and not know about it. The chastisement of friends is faithful, but an enemy's friendship is deceitful. Those who have eaten their fill cannot even eat anything sweet, but to those who are hungry, even the bitter are sweet things to eat. A man who wanders from his place will eventually return again, longing for home. The sweetness of a friend by hearty counsel rejoices the heart. We should not forsake our friends or our family's friends, nor should we bring calamity into the house of our family, because a near neighbor is better than a brother at a distance. We are advised to be wise and make our parents' hearts glad, so that they can answer those who approach them. The prudent see evil coming and hide themselves, but the foolish walk right into it and are punished. We are to take the clothes of those who are surety for a stranger, and a pledge of him for a strange woman. Even in blessing, if we make ourselves annoying, it will be a curse to those we bless. A contentious woman will make you uncomfortable and not let up. Those who hide a contentious woman will hide what cannot be hidden, and will rid themselves of comfort and healing. We sharpen our friends by wearing down the large and soft to make a thin and hard edge. Those who wait on their masters above themselves will be honored. Building rapport by making our hearts seem alike brings us answers to give and brings us answers to receive. Men are never truly satisfied with what they have, and that envy can lead to hell and destruction. A man to his praise is refined himself. No amount of punishment will drive foolishness from a fool. We should take care of our own matters and not meddle in the affairs of others. Riches are fleeting, and nobody holds authority forever. All things are given to us for our benefit, and by tending to our own business and not meddling with the affairs of others unbidden, we will have our needs met with plenty of what we need for ourselves and those who work for us. Proverbs chapter 28. The wicked will run for guilt when nobody chases them, but the righteous are bold in innocence. When there are many princes of the same land, they are princes of transgression, but those of understanding and knowledge will apply their skills to prolong the state. A poor man that oppresses the poor destroys what little they have. Those who forsake the law praise the wicked, but those who keep the law contend with those who forsake it. Those who are evil do not understand judgment, but those who seek the Lord understand all things. The poor that walk in uprightness are better than the perverse, though they may be rich. Those who keep the law are wise, but those who hang out with riotous people shame their parents. Those who get rich by usury and unjust gain will end up giving it to those who pity the poor. Those who refuse to listen to the law, even their prayers are an abomination. Those who cause the righteous to go in an evil way will be trapped in their own traps, but the upright will possess good. The rich are wise in their own eyes, but the poor that have understanding investigate the rich. When the righteous rejoice, there is great glory, but when the wicked come to power, people hide themselves. Those who cover their sins will fail, but those who confess and forsake them will have mercy. The man who always fears God is happy, but those who harden their hearts will fall into mischief. A wicked ruler over the poor people will destroy them. The prince without understanding is also a great oppressor, but those who hate covetousness will live long. Those who do violence make haste to their own destruction. Let nobody stop them. Those who walk uprightly will be saved, but the perverse will fall at once. Those who work will have plenty of what they need, but those who follow the vain will be poor. The faithful will have many blessings, but those who seek to get rich quick will not be innocent. To be prejudiced is not good, because those you favor will do any sinful thing to get what they want. Those who seek to get rich quick look on things for evil purposes and do not consider that they will become poor. Those who rebuke will find more favor afterward than those who flatter. Those who rob their parents and say it's not a sin hang out with destroyers. Those who are prideful stir up strife. But those who trust in the Lord will have their needs met. Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk wisely will be saved. Those who give to the poor will not lack, but those who pretend to not see them will have many curses. When the wicked come to power, many hide themselves, but when the wicked die, the righteous increase. Proverbs chapter 29. Those who are hard-headed, though often reproved, will suddenly be destroyed, and there is no way to change that. When the righteous increase in authority, the people have great joy, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Those who love wisdom bring joy to their parents, but those who hang out with harlots spend all that they and their parents have. By judgment the king establishes the land, but those who take bribes overthrow it. Those who flatter those close to them set traps for them. The sin of the evil is a trap, but the righteous sing and rejoice. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked don't care to know it. Scornful people trap a city with their scorn, but the wise turn away wrath with their wisdom. If the wise contend with the foolish, whether the foolish rage or laugh, there is no rest for the wise. The violent hate the righteous, but the just are concerned with their well-being. A fool always speaks their mind, but the wise hold back until after an event has happened. If a ruler listens to lies, all of their servants are wicked. The poor and deceitful usurer meet together, and the Lord shows them both the truth. The king that faithfully judges the poor will have their authority and posterity established forever. Correction and reproof make people wise, but the children left to themselves bring their parents shame. When the wicked are multiplied, sin increases, but the righteous will still see their fall. Correct your children, and they will give you rest and delight you. When there is no vision to guide, the people die, but those who keep the law are happy. A servant cannot be corrected by talk alone, because though they understand, they will not answer. A fool has more hope than a man who is hasty to speak. Those who delicately bring up their servants as children will have them become their own children at length. The angry stir up strife and abound in sin. Pridefulness brings low, but the humble will be upheld by honor. Those who partner with thieves hate themselves, hearing cursing and not paying any mind to it. Fear sets a trap, but those who trust in the Lord will be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but all of our judgment comes from the Lord. The unjust are an abomination to the just, and those who are upright are an abomination to the wicked. Proverbs chapter 30. This chapter is by one known as Agur, the son of Jakeh, and is a prophecy spoken to Ithiel and Ukal. He claims to be more brutish than any and to not have the understanding of a man, which is a mark of humility. He claims to neither have learned wisdom nor to have the knowledge of the holy, again telling us that he is humble, but for what reason? Perhaps this is a comment on how he sees himself after being humiliated, or perhaps this is how he's always seen himself. Something has shown him that he doesn't know as much as he might have originally thought he did. In any case, he asks a series of rhetorical questions, asking who has gone up into heaven or come down from it, which is a prophecy about Christ. He asks who has gathered the wind in his fists, bound the water in a garment, or established all the ends of the earth, asking what his name is and what his son's name is, if we can tell. Today we know who it is, God himself and his Son, Jesus Christ. Every word of God is pure, and he is a shield to those who trust in him. We should not add to his words, or he will reprove us, and we will be found liars. Here he says that he has required two things of God, and he asks him to not deny them before he die. He starts by asking for God to remove far from him vanity and lies, and to give him neither poverty nor riches, to feed him with food convenient for him, so he won't become full and deny and ask who the Lord is, or be poor and steal and thus take the name of God in vain. This is a very blunt statement and shows that the poor steal and are tempted to take the name of God in vain, and that the full deny and ask who God is. He asks to be like neither of these, both by vanity and lies being removed from him and having his needs just met, not overmet with riches nor undermet with poverty. He advises us to not accuse servants to their masters falsely, or they will curse us and we will be found guilty. He then talks about what I believe was the generation of Christ's time, and is also our generation. He says there is a generation that curse and do not bless their parents, that are pure in their own eyes and unwashed from their filthiness, that they look pridefully, and their words are swords and knives to devour the poor and needy from the world. This is just like our generation today, as I myself have witnessed, and it was just like the generation of Christ. He came when the generation was like that. He might very well come in the same kind of generation again. He then talks about those who, like horse leeches, have two daughters that cry out for others to give to them. He talks about three things that are never satisfied and four that never say they have enough: the grave, the barren womb, the earth without water, and the fire that has had enough. This reminds us of the generation today as well as in Christ's time, always seeking more concerned with what we can receive than what we can give. He then says that those who mock and despise to obey their parents will be attacked by birds of prey, talking about how what we use for such sins will bring such sins on us and cause us to waste away. He then talks about three things too wonderful for him and four that he does not know: the ways of an eagle in the air, a serpent on a rock, a ship in the midst of the sea, and a man with a woman. These are all mysteries in how they move and what they do to this man. They are all connected in this. What follows? Such is the way of an adulterous woman who eats or commits her adultery, wipes her mouth, or eliminates what she can of the evidence, and says that she has done no wickedness. This is also unknown to this king. We know this way is as an eagle or serpent preying on others, a ship that is prey to the sea, and a man that is prey to a woman, or a woman to a man. He says there are three things that disquiet the earth and four that cannot be borne by it: a servant reigning, a fool filled with meat, an odious woman married, and a handmaid who is heir to her mistress. These are things that are unseemly in his account. The servant is supposed to serve and not reign. A fool does not know how to get food. An odious woman is not attractive enough to be married, and a handmaid is a servant, not counted as being on par with the children of the mistress. Each of these is about knowing one's place, not because of unchangeable factors, but because of things that can be changed. A servant can stop serving and work for themselves. A fool can learn and become wise. An odious woman can change her ways, and a handmaid can be counted as a better heir than children. However, some things have to be changed to make this work. A servant must gain self-sufficiency. A fool must give up their follies. An odious woman must change her attitude and personality, and a handmaid must be closer to her mistress than her own children. This is all about both not being rewarded for nothing and earning rewards by changing one's ways. Four things are considered little and yet are exceeding wise, and we can learn from their examples. Ants are not strong compared to us, but they prepare their food in the summer. Conies were considered feeble, but built their houses in the rock. Locusts have no ruler, but go forth by bands. Spiders take hold with their hands, and in kings' palaces. We should take note of their diligence, forethought, working together, and wise choices made by them. There are three things that go well, and four that are comely in going: a lion, strongest among beasts that does not turn away for any, greyhounds or horses, he-goats, and kings that have no uprising against them. In each of these things go well. The lion feeds just enough and rules the pride. The greyhound or horse can escape trouble through their speed. He-goats can survive in the most barren and rocky of lands, and kings can keep down uprisings by their wisdom. If we have done foolishly in lifting ourselves up, or if we have thought evil, we should stop ourselves from speaking. The force of wrath will bring strife, if that is the case. Proverbs 31, chapter 31, that is. Next are the words of Lemuel, and the prophecy that his mother taught him. He says to not give strength to women, nor always to those who destroy kings, as women did to Solomon. It is not for kings or princes to drink wine or strong drink, or else they'll drink, forget the law, and pervert the judgment of the afflicted. We're advised to give strong drink and wine to those who are ready to die, and to those who have heavy hearts, so that they can drink and forget their poverty and misery. We're also advised to speak for the dumb in the cause of all who are appointed to destruction, to speak, judge righteously, and plead for the cause of the poor and needy. While this next part is particularly about a good wife or virtuous woman, it would also rightly apply to all of us in one way or another. She's priceless. Her husband safely trusts in her, so he doesn't need to take with violence. She will do him good, not evil, all the days of her life. She works willingly with fabrics. She brings food from far off. She prepares food early for her household, including her servants. She considers land and buys it and puts in the labor herself to plant in it. She strengthens herself all over. She makes sure that what she has to offer is good and works for as long as she needs to. She works with fabrics with skill. She gives to the poor and needy. She prepares her household for the weather with clothing and makes beautiful clothing for herself as well. Her husband is known where the elders of the land sit. She makes fine linen and girdles to be sold. She has strength and honor and rejoices when the time is right. She speaks wisdom with the law of kindness. She takes good care of her household as well as her job and doesn't let herself get lazy. Her children and husband call her blessed and praise her. Many women do virtuously, but such a woman excels them all. Favor and beauty are deceitful and vain, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. She should receive what she's given, and let her own works praise her, everywhere it may be found. And that was Proverbs chapters 17 through 31. My notes on them. I hope you all got something of value out of this, and I hope you'll join me next time for Isaiah chapters 1 through 11. Until then, may God bless you all in every way, in Jesus' name.